What's up, Tacties? Max Afterburner has become one of my favorite content creators, especially when talking about the Iran topic and what's going on over there in the Middle East. So he's extremely intelligent. I find him very valuable. I love this dude's content. I love his opinion. I know that he's got a lot of education, information, and knowledge on what's happening. So we're going to go ahead and watch what he has to say, do a little bit of review, and I'm going to tell you right now, making any kind of assassination threat towards our president is not a good idea. Us as Americans take that very serious, and I'm pretty sure that the response was, we'll wipe you off the face of the earth. Let's get into it.
It's July 11th, 2026. Welcome to the video. 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran, targeting the regime. That was a quote from President Trump this morning. And that was a response to what someone said from a bunker deep inside of Iran.
Yeah, Iran likes to hide. I would hide too. You know what I'm saying? I would be hiding too with how we've handled the situation over there. You guys are afraid. You guys are scared, and rightfully so.
Supposedly from a Telegram account, the man who hasn't been seen in 135 days, Iran's supreme leader, Majabta Khamenei.
How you gonna be a supreme leader and be hiding for that long? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're over there hiding and giving commands from underneath the battlefield? Interesting.
Or he's also known as the I told you not to hit ships in the Strait of Hormuz anymore, or we're going to blow up your IRGC headquarters. He's allegedly disfigured, hasn't made a single public appearance since the February 28th strikes. We don't know if he's actually alive.
I could really care less about these leaders over in Iran, to be quite honest. They sound like savages. They sound absolutely like scum of the earth. So Iranian people and the good people of Iran, I got nothing but love for you guys. I hope that you guys prevail, take over your country and get your nation back. But as far as your leadership goes, and the IRGC and everybody, I mean, I hope you guys find yourself where you guys belong, at the bottom of the sea.
Or if it's just people using him, they're the mouthpieces that are using his namesake to try to exert their will across Iran. Here's what the quote said. These criminals whose names are known from top to bottom will take to their graves the unfulfilled wish of dying peacefully in their beds.
So here's the thing. Everybody's talking about making peace deals, and then we go and drop bombs. We go and we put a little bit of warfare on them and stuff like that, and you know, then they're all like, oh, we want to make a deal, oh, we want to do this. Well, the problem is we can't trust the IRGC, we can't trust this regime, and we're kind of starting to notice that everything that they say, like most of us have all believed, is we cannot make a deal with untrustworthy people. And I think Trump's known this all along. I think that he literally has pushed forward on this topic to fulfill the desires of the other allies that we have and NATO and such. So if you think about it, like, this dude's been making business deals his whole life, and whether they're good, whether they're bad, he has become very influential in the world, and he's very good at what he is doing right now. Whether you disagree with the political agenda or not, the dude gets stuff done, and he demands respect in a certain kind of fashion. So I don't think that anything that is happening is a surprise to him. I do think that he tried his best to make a deal, and even accepted a deal that was not a good deal to accept, and I think he knows that.
The revenge is the demand of our nation, and it will most certainly be carried out. They should know that this does not depend on my personal presence, remember that, or that of any other official. Whether we are here or not, this will be accomplished, and soon freedom-loving people throughout the world will each carry out part of this divine mission. To me, is a little hint that he's not in existence anymore. My personal presence, speaking of other officials who have gone bye-bye. So that to me sounds like the inner circle is trying to reassure the people that when they finally expose the fact that this cardboard Ayatollah doesn't exist anymore, then it won't.
Yeah, because he hasn't talked whatsoever. I think he went outside to get a smoke or to get some fresh air or something like that, and then all this happened. So maybe he's in a coma, maybe he's talked, I don't know. I've heard a couple of reports that say that he might have had some conversations, but I'm not 100% sure on that. If you guys have any information or opinions, let me know in the comments.
Won't be a big shock. They're kind of psychologically doing psyops, psychological operations on their own people to prepare them for when it comes clean that this guy doesn't exist anymore. And then he says, freedom-loving people throughout the
freedom-loving people throughout the world. I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, Iranians are not freedom people, okay? They do not have freedom whatsoever. If that was the case, we wouldn't have an onslaught of people, 30,000, 40,000 people or something, just get slayed down out in the middle of the friggin' street, you know what I mean?
World. So he's talking about proxy armies who love destruction, who love the Ayatollah's way of doing business, slaughtering 40 to 50,000 of their own people.
40, 50,
that's the freedom-loving
10
people. that he's talking about.
Which is absolutely crazy. That's like, yeah, dude, that doesn't even make any sense. Yo, make sure you subscribe to my boy if you're not. Get in there and follow up if you want. Like, this dude has so much knowledge on this topic. I love watching him. I almost can't stop. I think he wrote a book back there in the back, The Art of Modern War. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I'm going to have to scoop that up. Not going to lie. Freedom-loving people, dude, like, come on, man.
He didn't name Trump in that speech, but he didn't have to, because for a week, the streets of Mashhad have been packed with mourners holding banners saying, "We will KILL Trump." That's what the banners say. Crowds chanting "Death to America," and the President of the United States went on Truth Social at 9:18 p.m. last night and posted this: 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran, with thousands of more to immediately follow should the Iranian government act on its threat to assassinate a sitting president of the United
This is like Tombstone, like, say when.
States, in this case me. Orders have already been given and the U.S. military is ready, willing, and able for a 1-year period of time, subject to extension, to completely decimate and destroy all areas of Iran. We've got two messages. One
Dude, at the bottom of that, he said, pray. Dude, Trump's a savage.
From a man from a bunker on his Telegram app whose body is made out of cardboard, and then the other one, President of the United States, who's in control of CENTCOM. Yeah, pretty sure that cardboard Ayatollah is about to get shipped somewhere he doesn't really want to go. Oh, and then stay for the Hot Topics Roundup section, because Ukraine just did something massive to Russia's fleet in the Black Sea that you need to see.
I love the Ukrainians, man. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I am rooting for the Ukrainians. I am rooting for them so hard. I hope that the people of Russia and the citizens of Russia find themselves to safety. I have no issues with them, but I absolutely do not care about Putin. I hope he gets his little pecker slapped around, and I hope that he freaking finds himself where he belongs and gone, and I hope that Ukrainians prevail, and I am so proud of them as a human being. I'm just so proud of their resilience, and I love watching. I'm fascinated by watching them develop and adapt on the battlefield. That's absolutely exhilarating. But it's very sad too. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not like pro-war in this scenario. I really don't care about war, to be honest. I actually would rather not see it. But it's the world we live in, the reality we live in, and human beings have been tearing each other up since the freaking start of it, man.
Videos right here. This is a little teaser of UFOs have been released from the White House. And this one right here, this is the enhanced image. I'm going to break down everything I'm seeing here. So stay for the global roundup section. That's about 3/4 of the way through the video. So when you've got 1,000 missiles pointed at someone and they're still executing their threats, it kind of shows to me that cardboard cutouts don't come with brains. So here's what just happened, because the last 96
hours, the Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man all over again.
Hours have been insane. We know that there's been 170 strikes on the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, specifically in the south by CENTCOM. Absolutely unleashing with F-18 Super Hornets, F-16 fighter jets that are the Wild Weasel variants, striking Bandar Abbas, Qashem, Sarid. Explosions all confirmed by the Iranian state media themselves. The U.S. simultaneously revoked Iran's oil sale license that had allowed Iranian crude to flow under the MOU. They slapped fresh sanctions.
See what I mean, dude? This dude's a stud, bro. Like, I don't know where all this information comes from. That's why I'm doing a freaking reaction to his video, because instead of me trying to put all this together, I would rather just promote my boy and say, hey man, y'all want to watch this? Y'all want some news? Go check him out. You want a little bit of commentary? You want to be here for me and kind of laugh with me or something, or you share some of the similar views and values that I have, then, you know, you're welcome, baby. Come on, take up a seat. Come sit with your boy. Come sit with me.
On the financial network surrounding Majabta Khamenei personally. So all those people in the inner circle that are likely the ones that are sending the Telegram messages have now had sanctions put on them personally. And the U.S. just gave an ultimatum to the regime itself. There will supposedly be talks today between a few different nations, and the U.S. military has just resolutely said that Iran has 24 hours to fully open up the strait or else.
Okay, so what I think, personally speaking, of course, just my opinion, okay, I think that Trump was like, all right, let's play the game. Let's see if we can make a deal with him, because if we don't and the world sees that Iranians are untrustworthy, not Iranians, that the IRGC and the regime is untrustworthy, my bad, but if we can see and prove that to the world, guess what kickback that we're not going to get? Guess what kickback Trump won't get? And if he does get the kickback, he's going to have the support of our allegiances and our allies, which is going to be an entirely different response, because now you're not just responding to the United States of America, you're doing what Trump initially tried to do whenever he was testing members of NATO and trying to get other people to come with and say, hey, this isn't just America's. And they were like, we don't know be about that. Well, now Europe has come out and they've said, well, I don't think Trump's being completely irrational, and I do think we might have to address this in a different manner.
So we're going to talk about what that or else could be and what the U.S. military is doing, the Secret Service is doing to protect President Trump amidst all these threats. And then also remember, President Trump also declared that the Memorandum of Understanding signed in Versailles on June 11th, that deal was supposed to end the war and have a ceasefire, is effectively over at this point. And I want to tell you quickly about my company, Max Afterburner Energy, because in the cockpit, there's no room for a 2 p.m. energy crash, no brain fog, no hesitation. Every decision matters. Every second counts. That's why I built MaxAfterburnerEnergy.com, the first fighter pilot owned and operated energy drink company. I'm so excited about this. We have a custom
2 millivanillis of caffeine, 200 millivanillis of L-theanine, 250 milliliters of acetylcholine. I don't even know how to say that. I'm probably bombing that, but that's super cool, man. I am very sensitive to caffeine, and I think the L-theanine would probably balance that out quite a bit. I would love to try this, but I'm going to be real with you. Your boy needs to get his funds up, so y'all need to watch my video or do some likes or something so I can monetize this, and subscribe or like along the page or something so I can buy me some freaking energy drinks, man.
Fighter Pilot Energy blend that's meant to not give you that dreaded caffeine crash. That's why our motto is don't crash.
I get
because with fighter jets and with energy drinks, you don't want to crash. It's not a good thing at all. Fighter jets don't have cup holders, so before combat missions, I'd chug an energy drink on the flight line. The result, heartburn and that dreaded crash 30 minutes later at 30,000 feet. Not ideal. No. So to fix that, we've got natural caffeine, nootropics for focus, zero crash, zero jump, engineered to keep you locked on like a fighter pilot all day long to help you do whatever it is that you're doing and do it better. This isn't just a drink, it's a system. But here's the thing, the energy drinks are in production right now. So just head over to MaxAfterburnerEnergy.com.
This is coming from somebody who's experienced and lived the lifestyle, and he's got a different perspective coming into this. You know what I mean? Like being a fighter pilot and then coming in here and he's got experience of what he used to feel and the effects of it. So think about that with his creation. Super cool, man. If you're into this, I would go check it out.
Join the email list and you'll be notified the moment that they drop. You'll get discount emails and you'll be one of the first to get notified when these things are in stock. We've also got new merch that's coming over. We've got a new F-35 shirt, which I think you're really going to love, and that'll go live here soon. But for right now, just go to MaxAfterburnerEnergy.com, join the email list, and you'll be notified also about all the different content we do every week. So it'll keep you posted so you never miss anything going on around the globe. But now,
and obviously, I'm doing a commentary on his channel, so I'm not going to cut this out by any means. I am absolutely going to try and promote these creators. I'm stuttering all the time, man, but I'm trying to get my brain to activate. I probably need one of those freaking drinks, to be honest, because I do not have any caffeine or anything to keep my brain engaging. And I'm telling you guys right now, coming up on 8 weeks of sobriety from cannabis and all other things and completely sober has absolutely been a unique dynamic. So I'm misfiring on some cylinders for sure. And I really would love to try those, but I get really bad anxiety. So you guys have to let me know in the comments if you like it. But like I said, I'm going to support the people who are doing these types of things because I believe in them and I want to uplift them in the community.
Talk about the platforms, the targeting chains, because Iran's coastline, southern Iran, Bandar Abbas, Qashem, Sarik, some of this target imagery right here, one of the most layered air defense environments in the Middle East. Russian-built SA-20 gargoyle system.
And we've seen how the Russians have done defending their homeland. Just saying, guys, just saying. That wouldn't be the best sales pitch.
Tor M1 SAMs, multiple radar networks, Iranian-built Bavar 373, long-range surface-to-air missiles. You don't just fly into this area and walk out willy-nilly. You have to kick the door in exactly in the right order. So enter the F-16CJ in the suppression package. Put yourself in that cockpit. You're going in.
Oh, I would love to be in that cockpit. You know, ooh. I just like to climb up in there and just like hop on his back and just take some freaking swirlies.
You're looking at all your sensors. You're trying to find where the surface-to-air missiles are so that your team behind you doesn't get targeted by them. You're basically the bait. You're basically the one with massive
Freaking missile over there, just like
cojones. How do these pilots even fit their cojones in their flight suits? And
Dude.
cojones is a general term. It could be a man or a woman, okay? It's a mindset.
Yeah, I
They
get it.
come as strike aircraft.
curious.
Navy's F-18E, F-18F Super Hornets off the USS Abraham Lincoln.
Look at
Confirmed
that.
operating in the
Studs.
Gulf right now. The Lincoln's air wing was actively loading
Freedom fighters at their finest.
ordnance and running drills even on Thursday as diplomatic teams worked the phones. These crews are ready to go at a moment's notice, and they've been utilized multiple times in the last week. They got the call on July 7th and on July 8th. Super Hornet is hauling GBU-38 JDAMs, AGM-84 Harpoon anti-ship missiles for coastal targets. They can also carry Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff missiles, which is a massive capability,
Sick.
along with the
Top
F-15E.
gun.
Enter the F-15E, the strike package being loaded down with F-18s and F-15Es is a great strategy because it gives the ability for air interdiction. Air interdiction is the term of you fight your way in, so whether that's drones, whether you're trying to target ballistic missiles in the launch phase, or you're targeting maybe a sporty Iranian fighter pilot, the 2 or 3 that are left that can actually
Just ready to fight at all times. These boys ready to fight. These ladies, these boys, these boy ladies, these frickin' men, these gentlemen, these frickin' gentle ladies, whoever you want to frickin' call them, however you want to call them, they are out there ready to engage.
get airborne in their F-5s or their other aircraft. You have to be ready for that. You don't know what Iran's going to do. They're a very unpredictable
The most
actor, so you have to be prepared for
unpredictable.
everything, which is why the F-15E and these multi-role jets like the F-18 and the F-16 are so capable in this environment. So you fight your way in, you drop your bombs, and then you fight your way out, especially now with the
Just come in, freaking blades of glory, just ready to. That's what I'm gathering.
F-15Es being loaded out with the APKWS rocket system. Enter the APKWS, which is about $20,000 versus a $25,000 or $30,000 Iranian drone, and you're basically making money with every shot. So think about this strike package working in coordination that would happen if 1,000 of these missiles actually go towards Iran. So we would see standoff weapons launched from submarines, launched from the carrier strike group, basically the VLS systems, the vertical launch systems. I know you acronym addicts are out there like, please just give us one. Okay, there you go, the VLS, vertical launch system. What that does is it
The acronymians. We love you.
launches Tomahawks, SM-2s. It's very capable at striking down ballistic missiles from Iran, because remember, that's their focus, ballistic missiles. And the intelligence services are working overtime with these surface-to-air missile
bet.
sites being mapped in a way that they probably haven't been before. Right now, the U.S.
This guy's shaving profile is completely out of regs. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Like, who gave this guy a shaving profile?
military, U.S. government is asking firms to not publish any information of satellite imagery in Iran itself. CNN actually was able to get their hands on some, so good job, CNN. And that video is very interesting. We're going to cover that one tomorrow. It's about the different nuclear sites that looks like Iran is rebuilding, but it's showing that Iran is trying to protect their most sensitive sites in the Strait of Hormuz. They want to protect the ports. They want to protect the fast attack craft warehouses.
They might want to watch their mouth so we don't just start dropping bombs on them, don't you think?
They want to keep their ability to threaten the Strait of Hormuz, and it looks like they're trying to move more and more surface-to-air missiles to that area. And remember, Iran is not nothing. You can't discount the enemy. The VAR 373
That's fair.
launchers, radar sites, command and control nodes. IRGC Navy, though, has lost more than 60 fast attack boats in the last week.
And that makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I guess we might have to just be a little bit mindful how we treat them and how we respond.
We know that that happened just recently, and more could be happening as well. Also, U.S. mine clearance operations still going on in the Strait of Hormuz.
That's
And
wild.
Iran's ballistic missile inventory is what they lean on. So this is likely one of the main things that would be targeted as well with the 1,000 missiles that would go into Iran. And that could just be the first wave, honestly. 1,000 missiles going in, basically the first wave, likely focusing again on their nuclear enrichment facilities. And remember, President Trump also said this: either they give us the nuclear dust or we have very low-cost military options to ensure it remains buried underground forever. So what does that tell you? Well, We might be sending in a few more GBU-57s as a part of those 1,000 missiles just to
busties?
verify that we don't need inspectors to go in. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, they're expensive, but they're just going to completely sink everything. And like, you know how hard it's going to be to dig this out? And then when you do dig it out, is it going to be retrievable? I don't know. Some of y'all super scientist nerds, let me know.
inspector is 30,000 pounds and happens to look like a little skyscraper. So you didn't want the actual IAEA inspectors? No worries. Our friend GBU-57 has its clipboard and it'll come in at about 1,000 miles an hour. Mohammad Bagar Ghalibaf, Speaker of the Iranian Parliament, former IRGC Air Force commander.
I was going to say, this dude gives me weird vibes, like very untrustworthy and just like, I'll absolutely kill you in your sleep vibes. That's kind of what I'm getting.
Current chief negotiator, remains the most dangerous surviving power center in Tehran. His public statement this week: the era of bullying and extortion is over, we don't fold. Ghalibaf is the man who's been running Iran's negotiating posture while Majabta Khamenei stays invisible. He's both the diplomatic track and the military command structure, likely, which means any agreement signed by Ghalibaf might have IRGC buy-in, but it's also why Ghalibaf stays so hard-line, because he can't show any weakness to these IRGC generals. You made it to the Global Roundup, my friends. Check out this video right here. In the Sea of Azov, Ukraine is absolutely decimating Russia's oil fleet, energy infrastructure. These are one-way attack drones that are absolutely decimating these ships. It looks like 10 Russian vessels have been hit in the Sea of Azov, northern Black Sea, 8 oil tankers, 1 bulk cargo vessel, 1 ferry, all part of Russia's shadow fleet supplying fuel to occupied Crimea. Also in the air this week, looks like Ukrainian F-16s working in coordination with a Patriot SAM battery and a Swedish Saab 340 airborne early warning aircraft were said to have shot down a Russian Sukhoi Su-35S, Russia's premier air superiority fighter. Russian military bloggers confirmed the kill from
That's not good for Russia.
the cockpit. Right now, looks like these Dutch F-16s from the 70s just bagged one of Russia's best frontline fighter jets. So that's massive. I'll probably do a full video on that very soon. And then check out this UFO footage. This disclosure right here shows something that just looks insane. I mean, it's got a lot of bumps around it.
Looks like it's from Gears of War or something like that, maybe Halo or something, you know?
To me, when we look at the enhanced version, it looks like a lot of sensors.
Just gonna take a little sneak peek here because this is looking pretty bonky. Like, is that made from Space Force material?
So this, to me, the top part, I mean, it doesn't look like any aircraft we've ever seen. I mean, just insane to see this. Looks like some points on it that have a
How does it fly?
little bit more heat than the rest. So that could be glare coming off of different sensors. But this thing looks like nothing that's ever been released before from any military. Just incredible to see. I mean, at this point, when it comes to ISR, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance,
Almost looks like a little dude or something, you know, like one of those little freaking dudes in the claw from Toy Story. Like that claw, I can see like in a little body shape, but not really, you know, just kind of like, you know,
in a sense, are there some advanced technologies out there from, other countries, the United
Oh, look, it looks like a head and arms and legs.
States, China, Russia, potentially, or is this from somewhere else? I mean, that remains to be seen, but for me, I would love to go up and dogfight this thing just to see what it could do. And that takes us to the 40 chess strategic analysis section, my friends. So here's the strategic insight that nobody in the legacy media is connecting right now, and it changes everything about how you read the Khamenei telegram message this morning. The 40 chessboard isn't about missiles and ships. It's about command authority, specifically who in Tehran is actually making the targeting decisions that keep blowing up the ceasefire. Here's what we know. Majabta Khamenei hasn't been seen in public. Defense Secretary Hegseth confirmed on record that he is wounded and likely disfigured. DNI Tulsi Gabbard testified to the White House intelligence.
Yeah, so who's spitting all this out, you know what I mean? And I know that, if I'm correct here, the IRGC was set up to basically run off of like multiple individual units that can facilitate together, but they don't always have communication with one another. And it was kind of to eliminate things that have happened to them in the past. So I'm not 100% educated enough to speak on it, but I'm pretty sure that they're set up in a way that is supposed to be kind of disoriented to make sure that they are able to continue fighting. I don't know, man. Somebody correct me or give me the friggin' school me up, man.
Committee that he was very seriously wounded. U.S. officials privately told the press, we don't think the Iranians would go through all this trouble to install a dead man as supreme leader, but at the same time, we have no proof that he is at the helm. So Iranian state media...
Well, you know that they're keeping him extremely hidden if that's the case, because like everybody's a target over there right now. And if they find out that we're going to put our top dogs and our top chiefs on it, and our central intelligence is going to figure out where they're at in the world, and then they're going to have to deal with that. So that completely makes sense to me. On if he is alive, let him heal up and keep him in the shadows. And I know I was cracking jokes on old boy, who's the leader, and I'm sure there's some commands that are being given, but at the same time, you come out for a funeral where you know that we're not going to engage because of what kind of kickback we'd get. You know, imagine if the U.S. did just come in and everybody's at this funeral. We're just like, just freaking blast everyone. But they know that we're not going to do that. They know the kickback and, you know, the rules of engagement to that degree. So it's smart for him to come out and be like, we will get retaliation for our supreme leaders who have no longer been with us anymore, and whatever, however they speak or whatever. But it's like, I don't know if you guys know what you're going up against quite, and can you guys sustain this? I mean, sure, you guys have been around for over 5,000 years, but you're not doing a very good job of being around.
Has used AI-generated videos to show him delivering messages. He didn't attend his own father's burial. He communicates exclusively through written telegram statements like the one we saw this morning. But if you look at the behavior, Iranian attacked ships in the Strait of Hormuz while simultaneously negotiating through Qatar and Oman, publicly signaling they want to preserve the MOU.
Yeah, and this is why we pulled old president off of the new Air Force One, and we pulled out old blue because it's been proven to be true and through. So, which makes sense, you know, we got that gift from Qatar, but it hasn't had enough time, and I think it was created and up to speed in about a year or whatever. Not really enough time to get that thing vetted, so it makes sense with everything going on that we do a couple test flights, you know, cruise around. Maybe just domestically now for, you know, I don't know if I think our president should be rolling around international right now in that. I think we should stick to what we got because our capabilities, Air Force One is, it's got way more capabilities. We got time with it being vetted. So, yeah, man, got to keep old blue safe.
Yeah. But it looks like they did tell CNN privately that Iranian officials admitted the ship attacks came from an errant sect of hardliners trying to undermine.
We don't know what's freaking true with these people, man.
Negotiations. The IRGC Qatim al-Kanabi headquarters issued its own statement threatening Gulf nations that host American bases. It sounds like General Salami is getting a little handsy.
General Salami.
Him and General Tuna seem to be going a little bit hard in the paint, going against the actual regime in Iran itself. Because right now it looks like the entity making the targeting decisions in the Strait may not be responsible to the entity signing the diplomatic agreements, which is just a massive revelation, and it kind of shows us a little bit about what's going on. Likely why the U.S. hasn't just gone full gloves off across the entire country. Hey, we didn't do that. We didn't attack those ships. That was a wild rogue agent out there operating under the helm of the IRGC, and they don't want to be held responsible for that because they know what could happen if they're actually breaking the deal that they negotiated. What do you guys think? Do you think it's an errant, wild general somewhere in the Strait of Hormuz that's making these calls, basically going off the script as someone who's more hardline than even the IRGC in Tehran? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know where you think this goes. Or hey, let me know what you think about the UFO we just looked at. That'd be cool to hear about as well. Go and follow me on X, follow me on Instagram. I'm posting there pretty much every day. And then remember, go to maxafterburnerenergy.com. Sign up for our email list. It's totally free. You'll be notified about our energy drinks and about our merch once that drops. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. This is Ryan, also known as Max Afterburner, signing off.
Man, awesome. Super freaking awesome information and content. Absolutely love this dude, like I said. But let me know what you guys think about this as well. Or go over to his page and let him know what you think. I'll be looking and keeping up with his comments and following along. It was really fun to do this. I think I'm going to try and find a lot more creators like this and just kind of make, you know, reactions and things like that, kind of give my input and my advice. You know, really, I don't have the training, nearly the training, obviously, that this dude has. Like, he's way light years ahead of me on the information that he's privy to and that he's had. And I think he's got over 10 years preparing for this war. And, you know, like he said, man, he's a fighter pilot. And I don't know if I don't think he's still active or whatnot right now. I don't know. Do some research. Maybe I should do some research for you, but I'm not gonna do it. But I am gonna tell you thanks for being here. I appreciate you, man. I'm an infantry dude, and he flies these jets around, and I jump out of perfectly good airplanes and wondered why I did that, and then absolutely curved my spine and shattered it and all that. But nonetheless, I'm still here. I'm still breathing, and I'm now doing commentary videos. So let me know what you think, man. I appreciate you guys, and if you've made it this far, I love you. And I think that you should really know that, how much I do love you. Tacty out.